Next question, Raquel Bayan.
Good afternoon po, ma'am. May we know po how many cabinet officials or kasino po yung bubuo ng Philippine delegation na makasama ni PBBM sa Cambodia po?
In Cambodia. ASEAN.
Okay, at this point, the field deal is not yet final. Yeah, but the most probable ones are, of course, the Secretary of Foreign Affairs and the Secretary of Trade, and also the Secretary of the SWD. And why these three? Because they form the three pillars of ASEAN. The Secretary of Foreign Affairs for the political security pillar, the Secretary of Trade for the economic pillar, and the SWD Secretary for the socio-cultural pillar. But at the same time, it's up to the president to decide who others to bring with him, especially on issues that may be relevant to these other cabinet secretaries. Yeah. Because actually, those three cabinet secretaries are only the lead in these pillars, but these pillars also include other cabinet members. Okay, thank you.
How about ASEAN leaders or world leaders na magkakaroon ng bilateral meeting with the president po?
I guess I'll
ASEC
turn it over to ASEC Neil.
Thank you very much for that question. As you know, many world leaders and regional leaders will be present during the ASEAN meetings, so it's a great opportunity for our president to meet bilaterally with his counterparts. So far, we're still finalizing the bilateral meetings that will be conducted by the president, but I think it would be safe to say that the first one would be with the host government, with Cambodia. So the president is scheduled to meet with the Prime Minister of Cambodia, Prime Minister Hun Sen, as a matter of courtesy, and it will be their first meeting, and the first meeting as president, no, as the new president of the Philippines. We also expect a bilateral meeting between the president and the Korean president. As you know, the Republic of Korea is a key partner of the Philippines economically, in terms of defense and security, and then also in terms of tourism. And we have a very multifaceted relationship with the Republic of Korea. So it's very important that they discuss current and pending issues between our two countries and the opportunities that we can pursue together with the Republic of Korea. Foremost among the topics that they will probably discuss will be the conclusion of the free trade agreement between our two countries. Now, Korea is only the second country with which we will be concluding a free trade agreement after Japan. Aside from that, we have a very robust defense and security cooperation, as you well know. Okay, yes, I can't really speak for the other bilateral meetings because they don't fall under the purview of ASPAC, but there will be more than two bilateral meetings being scheduled between the president and his counterpart leader. Thank you.
Okay. We have a question from Ron Lopez of Agence France Presse. We would like to know the expectations from the DFA on meeting. May we know what will the Philippines push for during the meeting? What will they block? Anything to expect regarding the 5-point consensus on Myanmar?
Okay, let me start probably with the foreign policy priorities of the president when it comes to ASEAN. Of course, at the top of the list is the post-pandemic economic recovery and transformation. So that would cover food security, energy security, digital transformation, and the digital economy, and also climate change, in as much as this is very much related to our disaster management efforts in the Philippines. Now, with regards to international issues, especially on Myanmar, we are very much at the forefront of the call for the implementation of the 5-point consensus. And then on other international issues such as Ukraine, we are, of course, calling for the cessation of hostilities and the return of the concerned parties to the negotiating table. And also, we'll have to discuss also the negative impact, the global impact of the crisis, especially on the global economy. Stagflation, and again, energy shortage, food shortage, and the host of other ramifications of this conflict. Now, the South China Sea will also be there because we always carry that in all of our meetings in the international fora. Thank you.
We have another question from Ella Hermonio of Nikkei. In an address last month, President Marcos said that ASEAN has been unable to bring Myanmar to the table to discuss and resolve their country's issues. He even proposed to engage with representatives of their military government. Will President Marcos talk about this matter during the summit, and if he will in fact propose a dialogue with the representatives of the junta?
Definitely, the president will carry that issue in all of the meetings of ASEAN. But as for the exact proposals, I think it's better not to preempt that one because that will be fluid and that will be made in conjunction with the other heads of states of ASEAN. And ASEAN decides by consensus, not just by unilateral proposals. Yeah, thank you.
Eden Santos, Net 25.
Good afternoon. Hello. And good afternoon po. Since this is the first time po na dadalo si PBBM sa ASEAN Summit, ano po yung naging pagpupulong kanina at yung briefing po ng DFA sa ating Pangulo?
Well, you will be surprised. The president is very much informed about ASEAN. In fact, even apart from DFA, apart from our own briefings, because our briefings have been going on even before the ASEAN Summit. He's been getting copies of briefing papers from us. And there are also issues on the day-to-day operations of ASEAN that are brought to his attention through our communications and memoranda to him. So he's very well versed on the major issues of ASEAN. And so yung kanina, kumbaga pinunan na lang namin yung kaalaman niya on ASEAN. And we were happy to get also his inputs on how to go about the meeting in ASEAN, the discussions, and the issues that we will put forward. So that was a very productive discussion. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Last question from Joyce Rocamora of Philippine News Agency. North Korea has been testing several missiles at unprecedented rate this year. Are there significant moves or actions that ASEAN or the Philippines is expected to make with regard this development in the Korean Peninsula?
In all of the meetings of ASEAN, at all levels, not only the summit, in the coming summit, but also in the past joint committee meeting, as well as in the ASEAN ministerial meeting, and even lower level meetings, North Korea has always been a part of the agenda. And our position on that has always been consistent and clear. We have always called for, we have always expressed our concern regarding the ballistic missile tests of North Korea. And we have always called on North Korea to abide by the relevant UN Security Council resolutions on this issue. And we've always called on the parties in the Korean Peninsula to return to the negotiating table to find a peaceful resolution on this dispute. Yeah, thank you. So I will also turn the table to ASEC Neil of ASPAC in as much as he covers more North Korea and the Korean Peninsula issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Asik Dan. I'd just like to inform you that the Philippines has issued another statement on the November 2 ballistic missile launches of North Korea. And this is already the fourth statement to be issued by the Philippines since early this year, basically condemning the missile tests or launches. And as Asik Dan said, similar to the position of ASEAN, calling on all parties to resume peaceful dialogue and negotiations and to lessen the tension in the Korean Peninsula. And this is of paramount concern to us because we do have around 46,500 Filipinos living and working in the Republic of Korea in close proximity to North Korea. And we have called on North Korea to abide by the relevant UN Security Council resolutions as mentioned by Assistant Secretary Espiritu. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That ends our briefing today.